Welcome to today's training on the VI SPDAT for single adults. Before we begin, make sure you've watched the training videos on Phase 1 and Phase 2 for HMIS training. First, we will go into HMIS under Client Point and search for your client. Today, my client will be Shay. Set new back date if necessary, otherwise use current date. Scroll down under Client Point to the VI SPDAT version 2.0. And we can get started. Shay, I'm going to give you a survey if that's okay. It will take roughly 7 minutes. Please make sure to be as honest as possible so that you can be matched with appropriate services. If you do not understand any of the questions, please ask for clarification at any time. If you do not feel comfortable in answering a question, you can refuse and we will skip to the next question. All the questions that I ask will be yes, no, or you can refuse to answer. Do you understand?
I do.
After watching the training video, starting with the VI SPDAT, the first section will be History of Housing and Homeless. Where do you sleep most frequently?
Outdoors.
Okay. How long has it been since you've lived in a permanent, stable housing?
About a year.
In the last 3 years, how many times have you been homeless?
3.
All right, we're going to move on to your risks. In the past 6 months, how many times have you received health care at an emergency department or room?
Twice.
In the past 6 months, how many times have you taken an ambulance to the hospital?
0.
In the past 6 months, how many times have you been hospitalized as an inpatient?
None.
In the past 6 months, how many times have you used a crisis service, including sexual assault crisis, mental health crisis, family and intimate violence, distress center, and suicide prevention hotlines?
1.
In the past 6 months, how many times have you talked to police because you witnessed a crime, were the victim of a crime, or the alleged perpetrator of a crime, or because the police told you that you must move along?
Only 1.
In the past 6 months, how many times have you stayed 1 or more nights in a holding cell, jail or prison, whether that was a short-term stay like the drunk tank, a longer stay for a more serious offense, or anything in between?
0.
Have you been attacked or beaten up since you've become homeless?
I have.
Have you threatened to or tried to harm yourself or anyone else in the last year?
No.
Do you have any illegal stuff going on right now that may result in you being locked up, having to pay fines, or that make it more difficult to rent a place to live?
No.
Does anybody force or trick you to do things that you do not want to do?
No.
Do you ever do things that may be considered to be risky, like exchange sex for money, run drugs for someone else, have unprotected sex with someone you don't know, share a needle, or anything like that?
I don't feel comfortable answering that.
Okay. We're going to move on to socialization and daily functioning. Is there any person, past landlord, business, bookie, dealer, or government group like the IRS that thinks you owe them money?
I don't think so.
Do you get any money from the government, a pension, an inheritance, working under the table, a regular job, or anything like that?
No.
Do you have planned activities other than just surviving that make you feel happy and fulfilled?
Not really.
Are you currently able to take care of basic needs like bathing, changing clothes, using a restroom, getting food and clean water, and other things like that?
Yes.
Is your current homelessness in any way caused by a relationship that broke down, an unhealthy or abusive relationship, or because family or friends caused you to become evicted?
Yes.
All right, we're going to move on to your wellness. Have you ever had to leave an apartment, shelter program, or other place you were staying because of your physical health?
No.
Do you have any chronic health issues like your liver, kidneys, stomach, lungs, or heart?
No.
If there was space available in a program that specifically assists people that live with HIV or AIDS, would that be of interest to you?
No.
Do you have any physical disabilities that would limit the type of housing you could access, or would you like it, or would make it hard to live independently because you need help?
No.
When you are sick or not feeling well, do you avoid getting help?
Yes.
Number 20 is for female respondents only. Are you currently pregnant?
Yes.
Has your drinking or drug use led you to being kicked out of an apartment or program where you were staying in the past?
No.
Will drinking or drug use make it difficult for you to stay housed or afford your housing?
I don't think so.
Have you ever had trouble maintaining your housing or being kicked out of an apartment, shelter program, or any other place you were staying because of a mental health issue or concern?
No.
A past head injury?
No.
A learning disability, developmental disability, or other impairment?
No.
Do you have any mental or brain issues that would make it hard for you to live independently because you need help?
No.
Are there any medications that a doctor said you should be taking that, for whatever reason, you are not taking?
Yes.
Are there any medications like painkillers that you don't take the way the doctor prescribed, or where you sell the medication?
No.
Right. And then question 27 is a yes or no. Has your current period of homelessness been caused by an experience of emotional, physical, psychological, sexual, or other type of abuse, or by any other trauma you have experienced?
I don't feel comfortable answering that either.
Okay. So that completes your VI SPDAT.
So when you go in under here, it shows you all the individual areas that they scored and their grand total, which was 11.
After watching the training video, make sure to fill out the Google form. The code is single. Please reach out to any of the United Way staff with any further questions or concerns you may have.